Stop everything you're doing right now because what I'm about to share could save you thousands of dollars, protect your driving privileges, and keep you out of legal trouble that most drivers have absolutely no idea is coming their way. I'm Joe from US Visa Path, and today we're breaking down something that has nothing to do with immigration but everything to do with protecting your life here in America. If you drive a car anywhere in the United States, February 2026 quietly changes the rules of the road in ways that can hit your wallet harder than you ever imagined. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't have to be a reckless driver. You don't have to be speeding like a maniac. You don't have to drive drunk to get absolutely burned by these changes. Ordinary habits, things that millions of responsible drivers do every single day, are about to become very expensive mistakes. We're talking about tickets that show up in your mailbox weeks after the fact, insurance premiums that jump overnight and stay elevated for 3 to 5 years, registration renewals that get blocked without warning, and even driver's licenses that get suspended when you least expect it. Before we go any further, let me give you the standard disclaimer. Nothing in this video constitutes legal advice. Driving laws vary significantly by state. Policies can change at any moment, and you absolutely must verify everything on your state's official DMV website. What I'm sharing today is general educational information based on publicly available sources as of early 2025. What makes February 2026 different isn't just the number of new rules, it's how they're being enforced. In the past, traffic laws relied heavily on police discretion. An officer might give you a warning or overlook something minor. That safety net is disappearing fast. The new wave of driving laws is built around automation, real-time data sharing across agencies, and standardized penalties. Cameras don't use judgment, databases don't forget anything, and insurance companies don't even need a court conviction anymore to raise your rates. A single mistake can now follow you financially for 3 to 5 years. Another major shift is coordination. For years, driving laws felt fragmented across states. February 2026 marks a tipping point where many states are moving in the same direction on distracted driving, automated enforcement, impaired driving thresholds, and reckless driving definitions. The financial reality is something most drivers seriously underestimate. Modern traffic enforcement isn't just about the fine on the ticket. Insurance companies now track far more data than ever before. A few minor violations spread across a couple of years can cost you more than a major car repair or a family vacation. This is the change that's going to catch more people off guard than any other. A lot of drivers think this is old news, but that assumption is exactly why so many people are about to get fined. In the past, many states had hands-free laws, but fines were low and enforcement was inconsistent. A first offense might cost $50 or $75. That era is over. As these laws expand in February 2026, first-time offenses in many states are jumping into the $200 to $500 range. Second offenses climb between $500 and $1,000. For repeat offenders, some states now trigger mandatory driver education courses, community service requirements, and even temporary license suspension. Losing your license for 30, 60, or 90 days means missed work, lost income, and serious stress. Insurance companies are watching distracted driving violations very closely. A single citation can raise your premiums by 15 to 30%. An extra $50 or $70 a month adds up incredibly fast. Over 3 to 5 years, that one moment of checking your phone can easily cost you several $1,000s. What surprises most drivers is how broad the definition has become. Simply holding your phone in your hand can be enough, even if you're stopped at a red light, even if you're just glancing at the screen. The law doesn't care about your intent. It cares about whether the phone was in your hand. The safest way to protect yourself is to change your habits completely. Mount your phone before you start driving and leave it there. Use voice commands for everything. If something truly can't wait, pull over completely and put the car in park. Speed cameras and red light cameras are exploding across the country, not just in big cities but in suburbs, school zones, and residential areas. And the rules are getting stricter. In many places, speed cameras used to trigger only if you were going 10 or 11 miles per hour over the limit. That buffer is shrinking. By February 2026, some jurisdictions are ticketing drivers for going just 5 or 6 miles per hour over. If the speed limit says 35 and you're going 41, you can get a ticket mailed to your house weeks later. Red light cameras are becoming even less forgiving. The brief grace period after the light turned red is being reduced or eliminated. If any part of your vehicle crosses the stop line after the light turns red, the system records it. There's no explanation, no argument, just a photo, a timestamp, and a bill. These tickets aren't cheap. Red light camera fines can range from $75 to several hundred. Unpaid camera tickets can lead to late fees that double the original amount, collections agencies getting involved, damage to your credit score, and even suspension of your vehicle registration. The best defense is awareness and discipline. Drive the posted speed limit, especially in areas you travel regularly. Treat yellow lights as a signal to slow down. Use navigation apps that alert you to camera zones so you're extra cautious in high enforcement areas. Several states are lowering their legal blood alcohol concentration limits from 0.08 to 0.05% and dramatically increasing penalties. This shift is going to catch a lot of responsible, well-intentioned people completely off guard. At first glance, the difference doesn't sound dramatic, but in real life it's huge. For many people, a 0.05 BAC can happen after just 1 or 2 drinks depending on body weight, metabolism, and whether food was involved. What used to feel like a safe choice, having a drink or 2 over dinner, now becomes a serious legal risk. The penalties tied to these lower limits are not gentle. First-time DUI offenses can come with fines starting around $1,000. Mandatory alcohol education programs, license suspensions ranging from months to a year, and sometimes jail sentences are all on the table. After a DUI, insurance premiums often double or even triple, and those increases can last 3 to 5 years. When everything is added together, a single impaired driving conviction can easily cost $15,000 to $25,000 or more even without any accidents. The safest advice is simple. If you drink anything at all, don't drive. Not 1 drink, not 2, not "I feel fine." Use a rideshare or call a friend. A $30 ride home is nothing compared to the financial and emotional damage of a DUI. As electric vehicles become more common, states are facing a funding problem. Gas taxes have traditionally paid for road maintenance, but EV drivers don't contribute to that system. The solution many states are implementing is new or increased registration fees specifically for electric vehicles. In several states, EV owners are now paying annual fees ranging from $100 to $200 or more on top of regular registration costs. Some states are also exploring mileage-based fees, where drivers pay based on how many miles they drive each year. At the same time, emission standards for gas-powered vehicles are tightening. Vehicles that passed emissions tests for years may suddenly fail under the new standards. When that happens, registration renewals can be blocked until repairs are made. For older vehicles, those repairs can be expensive. If you own an electric vehicle, start budgeting now for higher registration costs. If you drive a gas-powered vehicle, especially an older one, consider getting emissions testing done early before new standards fully kick in. Many drivers assume these laws only apply to extreme behavior. That assumption is risky. The definition of reckless driving is expanding and penalties are becoming far more severe. In some states, if you're caught street racing, your vehicle can be impounded immediately. Getting it back can cost hundreds or thousands in towing and storage fees. Fines for a first offense can start around $1,000. A second offense may be charged as a felony with serious jail time. What surprises many people is that spectators at street racing events can also be fined or arrested. Simply being present can be considered participation. But the most important part for everyday drivers is how broadly reckless driving is defined. Excessive speeding, aggressive lane changes, tailgating, weaving through traffic, rapid acceleration, and hard braking can all qualify. A driver who is late for work and reacting emotionally can easily cross the line without realizing it. The takeaway is simple. Calm, controlled driving is no longer just about safety, it's about financial self-protection. Staying patient and refusing to engage with aggressive drivers isn't just good advice. It's a way to avoid penalties that can seriously disrupt your life. In several states, renewing your license is no longer as simple as filling out a form. New requirements are being introduced, particularly for older drivers, and failing to prepare can lead to unexpected delays or temporary loss of driving privileges. States are expanding vision testing, written knowledge exams, and in some cases road tests for license renewal once drivers reach a certain age, often 70 or 75. Failing one of these requirements doesn't always mean losing your license permanently, but it can lead to restrictions or delays. The key is preparation. Schedule regular vision exams. Review basic driving rules so written tests don't come as a surprise, and don't wait until the last minute to renew. Starting the process early gives you time to address any issues. States are dramatically tightening registration enforcement and insurance verification. The grace periods and warning letters that used to exist are shrinking fast. By February 2026, many states are moving toward real-time verification systems that constantly cross-check your registration, insurance status, and compliance records. If something doesn't match, enforcement can happen almost immediately. If your insurance policy lapses even briefly, some states can automatically suspend your registration. To reinstate it, you may need to pay reinstatement fees and penalties that stack on top of each other. Expired registration tags that once resulted in a warning can now trigger immediate penalties. Some states are linking registration status to automated license plate readers. If your registration isn't current, you can be pulled over because of a data mismatch, not because of how you're driving. The best defense is diligence. Make sure your insurance never lapses. Set reminders well in advance for registration renewals. Keep your address and information up to date. Small administrative oversights can now have the same impact as serious driving violations. When you look at all 7 changes together, a clear pattern emerges. Driving laws in February 2026 aren't just about punishing extreme behavior. They're about tightening every part of the system. Each rule on its own might seem manageable, but combined, they create an environment where casual habits and small mistakes become expensive very quickly. The good news is that none of these changes are impossible to live with. They require awareness, preparation, and a willingness to adjust habits. Mounting your phone instead of holding it, slowing down, choosing not to drive after drinking at all, budgeting for new fees, renewing documents early. These are small changes compared to the cost of ignoring what's coming. That's everything you need to know today, my friend. If this helped you, hit that like button, drop a comment with your biggest question about these changes, and subscribe because I drop new videos every single week. I'm Joe from US Visa Path, and I've got your back every step of the way. See you in the next one.